Projects behind schedule. People were at each other's throats. Thing is, though, bad as it was, when the day was done, they came together. Not all of them, but enough. They chose to be together. You see what I'm getting at? No matter what happens, it's human nature to come together. That's just what we do.
That's a real pretty picture you paint there, Liam. When do I get to see it?
Never. You can die behind these bars. You know that.
Well then, don't I get some kind of final request? Why don't you bring me...
Don't you ever get tired of acting like you're still in charge?
Do you? You think just 'cause they had a little weenie roast that you got all this on lock? When it finally goes to shit, and it will, you make sure you come back and you tell me all about that day too.
We're thriving without you. Building a future, just like I said we would.
Building it for who? For Tim?
You don't speak his name.
Party's going down the drain.
Liam? Same as mine. The bridge. It's not the future. It's a monument.
Think any wops.
You're not saving the world, Liam. You're just getting it ready for me.
It has been quite some time since we did a world tour in this world, and I mean, the world tour was probably done in the peak of the world, so a lot of things have changed, happened, went away, came in. That's just an example right there. So I won't be too long with any of it because, to be quite frank, there's a lot to go over, and if I spend too long on one thing, this thing could quite literally go for 5 hours, you know, at the least, in all realness. So this place here, I'll get under with it right now, get away with it right now. This place I'm in is called Tortilla. This is the founding city in the world, more or less. So there's the sign. This was the first building built, and is the most important building ever built in the world. And it's funny how those things work. So I'll quickly go on here. So we had votes every 5 months from September. Well, actually from February 2020, because before I was president, there was no democracy really. Like, there was, but I mean, people just thought Liam was going to be in power for forever. Anyway, so then it was me for a long time, for 10 months. Then it was Elliot and Ryan, and you see, his 5 months ended a long time ago. Yeah, so the VPs are down here as well. These are the party flags. Don't know if you can hear those dogs, but this is the Confederate democracy. This is what they ended up going under for both of the wars. Well, actually, this was for the second term. This is the United Party. That's their flag. Looks very similar to something, doesn't it? This is, well, the families which Liam pretty much ended up controlling as a party, or the Emerald Empire. It's all a conglomerate. This is Elliot's One Nation. Now, what is this? Can't even remember what he called his party, but this is Kobe's party. Tim's, even though, yeah, this is Liam or Adzie's party. This is the Acadian flag, which I'll go into depth of where that is and what that means in this world. And this is the Sooners, which is Ryan's party, and he won. So the Sooners got a win under the belt. So this is how we did it. It's pretty simple. Simple ballot. The Tortue River runs through here. Here's a school that was never finished. I can believe it. There's a lot of things that have never been finished on this world, which is a shame, but it is what it is. Rip Rasputin. This is for all the fallen slaves. Kyle Brothers Insurance. They baited out the hard way. This is kind of like a church or like a, I don't know, it's kind of empty. This whole street here was built for this here. Now this is the Prime Minister / President's plane, personal plane that they can use. You can go to a couple towns through here. Here's the town where all the Servo-Slavians were pretty much enslaved. It's right here. And what is this? I just keep finding stuff. Okay, yeah, this is I forget about this place. So the reason I didn't know what this was is I had nothing to do with this world until early 2020, mid 2020. And this happened in 2019. This was the little incursion where pretty much out here is the ruins of the jungle town that the Servo-Slavians built. There's no ruins. We just made it all up. But there's a commemoration statue here. So there you go. So this was the main hub for a while in the world. So kind of skipped over this place. But yeah, this town. This is Little Richmond. This is the Confederate town. So this is when I got on. I didn't want to I wanted to be my own man, or boy at the time, and this was my means of doing it, making my own town, separated from everyone else, out of spite pretty much, and that's pretty much all I ever did. Anything I ever did was out of spite, and here's the commemoration for when I quote unquote left. It's just commemorating what I did. So people were under the impression I was going to get off the world forever, so that's why this was built. But that didn't turn out to be. So here's some of the first housing, real estate that was ever built in the world. I'd say this is Elliot's old house. This here is someone's house, I can't remember. Someone broke those. This house never used to be here. It was a house here before, got blown up. I replaced it for Kobe, but he didn't want it at that time, so it's like, whatever. Here's the first military outpost for the United Party Army. So everything kind of grew organically around Tortilla, and then you'll be able to see that we really did expand pretty heavily. This road out here wasn't built until probably a few months ago, or both those roads. So yeah, both that highway and this highway weren't built till not actually that long ago. So if you can imagine, the road just ended here. So what is this? Old Johnson's River. Yeah, so okay, yeah, that's interesting. I literally forgot that. So this is the Old Johnson / Dempsey River out here. Now this is Ashton's old house, pretty empty. Ryan's house, if I'm not mistaken. This is where the infamous Operation Orange. I don't know if there's a picture. I'll pull it up. I'm not going to do this very often because I can't be fucked going back and editing this segment of the video. But I'm pretty sure there's footage and images of us planting TNT in here under, to fool the quote-unquote jury, even though they were under our control at the time. This is the National Mint. This wasn't built till not very long ago, actually. Very recent in terms of the world's life cycle. Very empty. But this was a part of the grand scheme of the families in the Emerald Empire. Let's say, what is... I haven't even seen this before. The leaders of the greatest signed an agreement with the Emerald Empire, which led to the internal prosperity in the country, the deal of a lifetime. Yeah, really trying to sell it there. But anyway. So, this area here is the area of the contaminants that were spread throughout the dirty bomb. And they're still trying to fight it this very day. This is old Grandfather Johnson's house. There's a secret here, if I'm not mistaken. Actually, I can't remember. There was kind of like a goose chase. There was something on a tree around here, or... It was like, oh yeah, what is this? Oh yeah, I can't remember where it is. Is it here? But besides that, there actually was an old basin here. And this flag right here, gentlemen, is the Death Legion flag. Oh, ladies and gentlemen, beg my pardon. Now, there's a bit of invisible fire. No one knew who built this base. Well, actually, we know Caden built it. But no one knew who blew it up and who put these Death Legion flags in here. So it's safe to say that whoever created the Death Legion also was the perpetrators of this insensitive act. But I go on. I nearly skipped over Dempsey's house. Now I'll go back into main town very shortly, but this is the Dempsey residence. This is the house of a very infamous family that always it's like the Kennedys of this world, except they're criminals. In other words, this father was Jack Dempsey, and they had 2 boys, or 3. We don't talk about the third one though. Jack Dempsey, the heavyweight champion of the world. Yeah, that is a reference to Jack Dempsey, the fighter. So he was Rebel's room. That was the parents' room. Actually, a nice house. One of my favourite houses ever built in the world, to be fair. The interior is really nice. What does that say? Agreed. I've never seen that. Fuck's sakes. That's the thing in this world, like, so many things. There's his grave. Ooh, that'll come in handy later. So that's his grave. But Got a dark secret. Plan for world domination. Something like that. Oh. Oh yeah, it looks like it. I built this just to infer, so, or in case I needed to use this room later. You never know what's going to happen in this work. Mystery Journal, Josh Revenge. So in here, I'll just break this. There's an actual key system, so through the door, well actually no, you can put his key, the one you saw earlier, inside there, press the button, and it'll open up this door. It's the only thing like that in the whole world. But this is pretty much why he did this. This was actually alluding to another war that I was going to actually start. He's a self-loathing cunt. And there's his... some of the unique weapons in the world. I kind of wanted this to feel like, you know, like a Fallout side quest. Oh, did that just... Okay. I'll put that back. And I'll get rid of these. So, that's his kind of lair little thing. So that's the two doors rolling down it. And I swear I hear silverfish, but... and that's how come they were so evil. And look at that. I forgot to show you where Gator's room was. He lived in the shed. God bless him. So now we'll go back into main town, Tortue. So, this building here, this is the office buildings. This is actually this is probably the second most important building ever. Doesn't look like it with the empty floor here, but you'll see as we go up. This is our offices. Jesus. He really did spend his time writing this. So for law's sakes, we changed the name to... I gotta switch name to those. For law's sakes, we changed his name to the United Party. But at the start, it was US. It was a take on the US, like trying to invade Mullumbimbi and trying to get in control. Oh, I did not realise he'd done this. Okay, so my brother has literally... How did I know it was going to be in there? It's the all set Okay, poopy rather. See, now I'm finding all the good stuff for the video. Of course I am. That's actually, I didn't show you his speech. So this was his speech for the last election, which was Ryan's election. That he won. Let's talk about Bori there. So he changed his thing to the Emerald Empire. Touche. Okay, next floor. Elliot's One Nation floor. That, I don't know where that takes you, but I'm not going to press to find out. Yeah, so this is Elliot's thing, his speech that he would read out every election when he leaves. No. He came close to winning a couple times. And here's mine. Here's all the flags I went under. And there's me pretty much sucking myself off about bringing the whole country together. Because I did. Kind of. Well. I'm not going to get into that now. Oh, there's every single flag ever, I think, other than those ones. Oh yeah, I was collecting everyone's battle armor for their party. And that's it, that's the top floor. So mine's is pretty barren now, actually. I don't like the look of that table, I'm going to change that after. So, these buildings here are very old. I think we have to go in them because there's nothing in them. But it's a certain company. I think it's Acto, the Acto building. Leading edge armor. So this is on the where you can buy some armor. There's the wardrobe in there. This building here is very strange. I've never understood the meaning of this. It's kind of just insane ramblings of Caden. Glorified into a building. Never really understood the point of it. But we changed it, we left it alone. Yeah, so yeah, see what I mean? And that's it. Very strange place, but I digress. This here is the bird sanctuary and all the birds have died, so yeah. Oh my god, I forgot about this. I can't remember who built this. Oh my god, I forgot that was there. I was like, I see the button, I'm going to press it. And I know it does. Someone's going to have to tell me what that is. I'm going to leave it for now. It sounds like a theme song from like a shelter. Here's the post office. Here's all the boxes. You know, if you know it. The families. Yeah, I don't think that's right. Here's the inside of it. There's nothing on the inside. I built this. Actually, no, Caden built this, but I did the interior. I remember what's in there. I think this is the newspaper though. Yeah, this is the first. Yeah, this is the first newspaper. But I'll get into that later. That was the first newspaper published. Is this the first bin? I think that might be. There's always competition to be the first in doing everything in this world, or there was at least. Here's the metro. Now this is a theme in every city. We actually have metros for fast travel to multiple places. So there's Coke Bay, the town that I will explain what that is and show you what that is later, and Sandy Cape. Probably, if you've made it this far, you probably already know all about Sandy Cape, but we will go there as well. Okay, that's still playing. It's probably not good. If I'm going to go back there and quickly press that button, see if it stops it. I think I broke it. Okay. Let's forget about that. This building here. I think this is another one of those just empty buildings that we tried to fit. Yep, see that there? Actually, maybe that's done on purpose. But all the trapdoors got glitched out not long ago. Probably 6 months ago. Now it gets a bit congested in here because there was a stupid road design that I did. It's just like a path that goes around the building. There's trees everywhere to conceal it. I don't know why I did that either. I think it's probably because there's trees here. I might have talked to Liam about that. We might have to get rid of those trees. But this is the SWAT building. Now this was built after I got on here. It's very empty because I built it. So there's the classic the armory, meeting room, kitchen, mess hall. And if we go to the top floor, the weight room, training room, and indoor range. But you understand it's supposed to be at least. No holding cells, because that's not how they do it there. One of the first factories built. Actually, it is the first factory. And I was mistaken. This is actually the first building ever built. This here. There used to be an office building there, but they never really tried to rebuild it. And this goes to a little tunnel King had built for pretty much no reason. There's a little railroad here. You can see the outline of Sandy Cape over there. It was like to attack something, but the plans fell through. A lot of things didn't make. A lot of plans that get made that are supposed to happen much later never happen. Because the world is so unpredictable. It was. I mean, is and was, I guess, at the same time, because we don't really play the world anymore, but when we did, it was very much so that way. So, is this another memorial? That's got no sign. This is the TTR building, King Tiles Industries. Who knows what the true intentions behind that building was? Probably to, I don't know. Who knows? This is the FBI building. It's probably one of the biggest buildings in the entire world. All these here, this is actually worth going into. This is waiting room. There's no signs there for no reason. I think this is the first kind of water fountains that were built. Not fountains, I can't remember what you call them. But each one of these rooms actually have a certain, what is this? Luther's office. Like all these are the meeting rooms, and here's they hold all the information. Election document. Here we go. I think that's, yeah, the lodestone's broke. But that's pretty much his crimes, and how do we have all that evidence there to further investigate? It's another meeting room, boardroom, leisure room by the look of it. Here's the UN room. This was here, so when everyone was split off into different countries, we'd all meet up here. And here's the... I don't even know what this is. I tried to make it like Mr. House's suite. I don't know. It kind of reminds me of that. And this is the NBS room. And here's more cases. The NBS is investigated. The Elite files have been completed. And this is pretty much the server room where they do their spying. These two cases probably should be also moved down to the latter evidence room, but yeah. Anyway, here's a tank that was built in commemoration of the First War. This bridge that looks like it's mines in it, but yeah, it does not. Damn, I'm forgetting something here. Well, there's kind of been bases built all up in this mountain. Little tunnels. I think that's where the first mystery room was put. One of the first places. The people did these tunnels for the sake of it. I'm pretty sure. I never did one, but yeah. But we will explore them. I have a feeling this just will lead to nothing. But anyway. Okay, that was this. Right. Yeah, like I said, it doesn't even lead to anywhere. So that was a complete waste of time. But we shall carry on. That plane there, does that... Yeah, that teleports you somewhere, but we're not going to do that. This is one of Tim's old bases that's been blown up, revamped. Tim had a lot of enemies in this world. But this was interesting. This was nearly the start of a big base, but it never really went anywhere, as you can tell. Yeah. So that's the FBI building. That's pretty much Tortilla done. But if we want to include this is the old Confederate fishing hut. It's just like a public fishing hut. And this is it was supposed to be like an old haunted house, but it really got finished. This is supposed to be like an old woodshed. This over here is there it is again. I think the name's here, is it? Oh, no, I don't. Mullumbimbi Regional Logging Company. There's a bit of a kerfuffle when this was revamped, against Ryan's will, because before he built a simple box and we played around with it, and he didn't like that, which, in all fairness, wasn't our right to go on. I still don't understand what that means. I think that this is here from one of the elections, because we'd always go here when an election would happen and wait for the fireworks, which would get set off from here. And here. So whoever won would have their colours come out. It was a pretty cool idea, and so we wouldn't say who won until the fireworks had come out. So I really liked how we did that. So we must move on, otherwise we'll be here for ages. This is John Wick's house, also known as Caden's house. That's very empty and got destroyed and rebuilt. And this is pretty much just trying to live up to the former glory, because the first one looked way better in my opinion, but we couldn't remember how it looked. And the whole reason it got destroyed is Elliot thought he owned this land up here. And, well, technically he did, but he kind of made his own rules up. And we went and built something there, and he's like, oh, what the hell? And he destroyed it. And Caden wasn't happy, and just shit fest. Sandy Cape, going into Sandy Cape, they're very close. They're kind of like twin cities. Think of Buffalo and Toronto. That's what it is, really. So Sandy Cape is the actual capital, I'd say, of the world, of Mullumbimbi. This is a gas station. You can tell this was built at a time where this stuff was just released into the game. But the first street light was built here. It was kind of just a prototype, and they were like, oh, we'll just leave it there, and that's kind of what it turned into. So that's that there. We'll go down this road. We'll go into Sandy Cape very soon, but we'll go to this area. I really like this area of the map. So this is the first proper military base. This is the United Party Army base. You know, you've got your planes, your jeeps, your tanks, your holding cells. I haven't been here in ages, so forgive me if I forget anything. Just your barracks, workshops, towers, barracks. What's this here? Lieutenant's report. Lieutenant's desk. More barracks, more barracks. Safe to say that room's more barracks. This here is the general's office, which also, you know, is AKA Caden. Of course I did that. Yeah, it's just the same shit there. Is that a different book? It is, what the hell? Okay, well, it's, yeah, sorry, I just haven't been here in a long while. More barracks. I think this was built later. This is more like a tutorial barrack. Fire pits. Kind of reminds me of Caesar's Legion here. Training. Med bay. Who knows what really that is? Firing range and a tank. Forget this was here too. Can you go inside? No. Okay. So that's 2 tanks in the world. Aha. Yeah. Oh my god, that's how close it really is. We'll get to that soon. And soon, I mean probably an hour. So this is the failed One Nation's military base, and this was built very, very long time ago. It was kind of a trend at the time, that's what was built. And I thought, oh, I should get it out. I said, no, just keep it. It looks cool, even though it's barren. But here's one of the most important places, in my opinion, that was ever built. Fort Dixie. The sign used to be in grey, but we changed it to red. These here are TNT launchers. Actually, let's see what TNT is. I'm not going to do it now. All this here was pretty much built in preparation for a war. There used to be stuff in these barrels, like they used to use in from the war, so that's just a lookout to see who's coming into the base. Right there. Kind of my office. It's kind of a museum here. It looks pretty evil, doesn't it? I never really liked the look of this building. Don't know why I built it like this, but anyway. Training, firing range, the bench and the 2 treadmills there. This is pretty much my throne. That flag will come in later. And this is the barracks. Simple base, but the thing in our holding camps, also known as Auschwitz II. That was a joke. This leads to somewhere, and I will explain where that leads to later. But people did not like how my base was connected to something else, and it freaked people out at the time. Now let's go back into Sandy Cape. Now, actually, let's check this out first. I've just forgot. So we can go here because this won't take long. If you're Russian, you can decipher that for me. Anyway, this is the base. This base was never finished, by the way. I don't know, it was one of Adz's bases. So it was like a themed base, I think. Was it this one? Yeah, I think it was only this one that had a room underneath it. I'll check. Let's see if the others had one. I doubt it. Yeah, that was the only one. So that'll never be finished, but that's okay. Let's go back into MK. We'll start at the farm here. This is actually one of the first farms in the world, believe it or not. Fresh produce. So, oh, yeah, that'll come into it later. But we might as well go here now. So, historic site. This here was a super cannon that was built. This was the exact basement of it. And this was actually the tunnel to get to it. To shoot right through that building and into the building behind it, into the water tower. That was the Third Civil War. Commissioned these to be built and fire upon sandy characters. Terrible times, but that's the site of where one once was. So these are the farms, nothing really torn, but they were kind of the first farm. What the hell is this? Okay. So, this is your hospital. I'll go in there very quickly. I'm not going to explain anything in there because it's all self-explanatory. I might mention one thing there. It's for the war. This part was built when Corona was going on. This was a piss take of that time. So it's the sectioned off for the sick with the flu that they don't know how to control yet. Got a lot of waiting rooms. I built this building too. There isn't another floor, is there? No. It's just a 2-story building, but it's very big. This is the water tower. As you can see here, we come into unity every 7th of October to commemorate the passing of the Sandy Cape Loch Ness Monster. It actually survived both wars where the water tower was blown up. Somehow the current didn't force the Loch Ness Monster out. It was just a fish with a name tag to Loch Ness. So, there you go. It's dead now though. Rip. This is the infamous JFK library. I think you know why we called it that. So, be sure. This is the Pole Mall. But actually, before I get to that, this is every book that we can think of that was ever written in this world. I think it was 48. I can't remember how many books there is. There's a lot. There's 40 something. I can't remember books there. I don't know what's on this one. Cletus Reed's book. Yeah. There's nothing really in the library, but one day we're going to change it and have all these books spread out through in there that you can read off the shelves, if you will. We'll go back to Pall Mall though. This is the grand old Pall Mall. This is where, you know, the podium vehicle, aka a horse, would be. It's kind of little shops here around. We'll go into that momentarily. Pretty random stuff that was in here. Fishing store, whatever that means. That sounds nice. I like banana leaf. Another library. Nice. What is this one? Just random crap. Yeah, go to 3rd floor, flag shop. A banner store. Got a pair of ice cream. Party store. That's pretty much it. I don't know, what was this one? Russian food. So, we'll go into here now. So this room belonged to a man. He's pretty much okay. Didn't read that. That's pretty much who he was, and there's a little mini game you can go into. So if you go over here, you will be teleported into his deep dark dungeon, where you have to try to escape. Now I can't remember how to escape, so I'm just gonna show you around inside here. I haven't been here, let me just see. You've been on this the whole time. Now there used to be a mob down here that had the name tag Lester Chugs, but he died a long time ago, if I'm not mistaken. Okay. Oh. Nothing in here. Yeah, I have no idea how to escape, so what I'm gonna do... Oh god. Just when I thought was over. Yeah, demented ramblings of a sick man. And an innocent man. Child. Rip. So... maybe there's more that we haven't seen yet, but... I'm not going to risk it. We're just going to leave now. The rest is pretty close to goodness. So... oh shit, we're under a building. Oh. Okay, so these dungeons are actually located in a strange spot. No, not like the place. I'm not cutting this out either. You can see the bullshit I'm going to go through. So that was the Pole Mall. Across the road is another Acto building. It's not really worth going into. It's been destroyed multiple times, unfortunately. He seems as though, my brother, that is, the target of... he was always a target with that faction. There's another Timmy Tiles, not really worth going to, office building. Here's the bank that we all talk about. Better bank. So this is our currency system. And then when Netherite come out, yeah, let's make a $250 note. That's pretty much what we like. Let's change it up a bit. So how you get in here? What is this? See that? That's a door for over there. And this, however, is the vault. Now it's really laggy. But that did not open. Uh-oh. There we go. That was really quick. That's strange. It's been slow for a long time since we had. So here's... everyone's. So how many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 13. I'm telling you now, there's at least 3 other people that have been in the world. Not constantly, but yeah. A lot of people have been on this world. So if you wanted to go into your... It's not very foolproof because you could just go into anyone's vault and steal their shit. But we had enough trust in this room especially. So, yeah. Let's get out. Jesus, nearly got crushed there. Alright. So that's the Better Bank. One of my favourite buildings in the whole place, the whole country. Here's the old museum, and I'll get to what that is over there in a moment. This is not a conspiracy, that's true. Okay, so no, I was here in 2019, but right at the end. I actually forgot. That obviously made that turn out differently. Obviously there was no tanks used in the war, but for law's sakes, that's why that's built there. Okay. Now you can read this. Spelled wrong. Typo. I think it's another typo. So here's the message that I wrote to man to force his hand to usher me into power. It happened, kind of, but not the way I wanted it to go. Very strange room, considering this was kind of, I think these are pretty after the new museum that was built, and I'll show you that shortly. That was in an hour probably. This takes a while. So this was the Inklings of the Death Legion. This was pretty much whoever writ this. Actually, no. I think this was made after. I think this was a message to the Death Legion, if I'm not mistaken. Tortilla. Let's have a look at the zoo. Now, unfortunately, not long ago, back in October 22, well, that didn't end up happening. But we started to refurbish it. So we got tickets, toilets. Haven't even been done yet. This is the farm area, and that's as far as we got. But this is what the old. Oh god, how am I going to find it? It's been covered up. So this is going to sound weird, but there was a ravine going straight through here, and in this ravine was the enclosures of different species, but it's been filled in, and I can't find the old entrance. There's an old entrance because it pretty much could have swore it was from. Okay, well, you're going to have to take my word for it. I think they might have finished the job, maybe covering it up. That's just a blimp there, there's nothing in it, that's why I didn't really show you anything about it. So, This is... What is this? Not bad. Okay, you can't even... There's something... Okay, they're blank. Whatever. This is Elliot's building, one of Elliot's buildings, rather. It's just another office building just for him to have all on his own, of course. But, you know, I don't make good use. At least I didn't at the time. You know, they've got lighting systems as well. And yeah, straight to the top floor. I don't know why I hear fire. But anyway. This building here, so when I talked about the news, this building here is Live, the company. Is the company that makes prints presses, uses the printing presses to come out with their stories. This is a commemoration of me, yet again. Now this is the first iteration. Now the next one actually was very recent. A couple months ago we ripped the second one. So we'll just read this. Terrorist first to be executed, Mullumbimbi says dumb shit. So this was made at the, you know, if you were listening earlier, at the peak of the world, I'd say. Kobe Green responsible for blowing up Elliot Goodwin's ship. His last words were, "Yeah, mate," before the lever was pulled, ending the life of the terrorist. His property was seized by the government and sold in an auction. And that's a reference there to Lester Chugs. So this one goes for a bit. The big empty engulfs Mullumbimbi. Thousands are migrating to other lands. The turmoil in the capital has turned for the worst, as it has been a year without a national leader. Debt is hitting the capital harder than the Great Expansion. Many representatives are suggesting a socialist government is the only thing that would bring back the nation out of crisis, but these suggestions fall on deaf ears since the disappearance of all but three of the former men in power. The fear of a red takeover means the nation. Bori has continued to threaten Mullumbimbi in all capacities. Mullumbimbi, I can't be bothered reading the rest of that, so. I spelled it wrong. But it's not really worth going in the building for, but actually there's a funny story about this building. When Kobe inevitably came back, we forced him to make these interiors. Well, you know, otherwise we said you're not allowed to come back. So that's what he did. There's no one else, and if he didn't do it then, it never would have been done. That's just how it is. The tall building. It's going on for a while there. And there's Vault. The grand opening is yet to happen, as you can tell, because look how barren it is. Here is one of the first major apartment buildings. Here's the lobby. I haven't read this in a long time. Okay, yeah. So, this is the lobby. Reception. This is a very nice hotel. Might not be as good as mine, but who am I to say? But it's a pretty nice room. I don't know what they're on about. So obviously the ones at the top are going to be pretty glamorous. Yeah, let's look at room 10. Just a big kitchen, that's all I think. Is there any more? Oh yes, the private suite. It's got a bathroom. Bathrooms are pretty rare in this world. You just gotta throw your shit out the window. So we'll get out of here. So that's the apartment building in Sunder Cape. Now, this here is the official government depot of materials ready for survival. Now, if we go over here, this is how it was done. So, nearly all of these barrels were filled with white concrete. And the reason we did this is for the roads. As you can tell, roads are all black and white concrete. Not all, some of them are black, yellow. There's different variations for different countries that they were at the time. This is pretty much all smooth stone. So the most important materials were going to be placed here, ready for the eventual turnover to survival, which never happened. Well, it happened for a little bit, then we turned it back. This is the first dealership. It's a prototype vehicle. This is just, to sell your horses. Yeah, there used to be a sign there saying thoroughbred, but it's gone now. Here's our stables. We'll go over there soon, but we'll finish up in here first. So here's the Sandy Cape Fire Department. Not much has ever gone on in this building. Not many people ever go in here. It's an old building. I don't remember the last time I was in here, so long time ago. But you've always got to have a fireman's pole on it. It's actually got a fair bit in it, considering the police department had a bit more traffic going through it, and it's kind of more barren. There's Cletus Reed's. There's both the news stories. But here's the missing peoples. What is this? Wanted people. These all don't really have stories except Slim Gronkowski here. He's actually got a backstory to another town, Carrigalong. And I'll explain what that was. But Elliot here, he's pretty much wanted for all this. It's pretty much piss taking his whole what used to go on with him in the world. But this is the police station. So this is MBS. Now there's a sign actually saying when it was built. There you go. The 8th of the 10th, 2020. Stands for National Border Security if you weren't listening before. It was built pretty much to spy on people. Oh yeah, there's the evidence room here too. I'll just look at one of these. But yeah, just trying to keep tabs on everyone. Trying to turn the place in the country into a police state, but never mind. It's all good. So that's the MBS. Here's the old depot that was never ever used, but it's still there. Here's the city park. There's an overhead of the city. itself, but there's a grand map which will be shown eventually. You can see the dealership up there, so we're pretty much right here where that pool puddle is there. And down there's the military base you've seen, and up there's Tortilla. And I'm yet to show you that. A couple of those things out there. But so this is the city park. This here is the grocery store, or Elvis. Pretty big grocery store. Actually, one of the most underrated buildings in the world, in my opinion. Here's the Sandy Cape Casino, also probably responsible for actually giving this place its name, because it was, first of all, it was the Sandy Cape Casino. We're like, oh, we don't know what to call the place, so let's just call it Sandy Cape. So there you go. That's how it got its name. These all used to have item frames on them with diamonds on them. They're kind of gone now. This here was an actual working, believe it or not, working lottery machine. I'll show you the insides of it. It's pretty complex, especially if we go down into here and you get to see how it all works. I mean, it doesn't work anymore, so it doesn't work. So yeah. But it worked once upon a time, and if you won, you know, you get a good prize, but you'd always lose money, because that's what casinos are. And here's some of the tables. This is where Martino's Finest was created, name. So most things paid 2 to 1, pretty sure. Blackjack, roulette, that kind of actually works, and poker. I wonder if the blackjack maybe. Yeah. So we actually went out of our way to do that, but I don't know how that really is supposed to work. We're like, yeah, we'll just do it. Here's a cafe that was never built. There's the restaurant for it. Or the kitchen, rather. This is Elliot's office, which he... That's a weird situation as well. We kind of made a deal where he had shares in the... And then he thought he owned the place, and then I was like, no, you don't own it. What are you on about? We got over it, he got over it, and we just kept that there. Now, this here is the Sandy Cape Metro. They all look a little bit different. We tried to keep it very similar, but there's another town we got to talk about later on. So, alright. There's an Acto sign there. Here's the Greasy Patty. It's just a burger shop. Nothing to it. The water tower. Like I said, with Loch Ness. Here's the... where the logging company would take all their timber to treat it and turn it into planks. Here's another Acto building that was destroyed multiple times. It's actually one of the most destroyed buildings ever that's been rebuilt. Yep. Under this overpass here is the Wog Shop. And there used to be a cat on the counter, but it was pretty much a piss take of your average Australian Chinese restaurant. Yeah, how times have changed. Yeah, I probably should show you these two buildings now. One of my favourite buildings in the whole world is the Sandy Cape County Jail, or County Prison. It's a prison, and it was pretty much properly done. I'll show you around because I think it's worth actually showing them. So here's the courtyard. Every tower had one of these stairwells going up to the watchtowers. Just wondering if there's anything. I haven't been here all the time. Okay, well, there's no button there. It's because once you put in prison, you put on visitor, so there's no use. There's no need for not putting buttons at doors because you can't press them. I think this is the warden's office. Infirmary. Okay. Yeah, he abused his power, that's for sure. Now let's show you the interesting part though, so if you can manage to find your way around this place. What's this do? Nothing. Okay. This is the actual part of the prison. This is the actual prison, rather. Here are the cells. Cletus Reed cell. There you go. Some of us have been locked up in here. Actually, most of us have. Mess hall. Now here's not bad. What do they call it? Was heavy containment, in other words. Or the can. I can't even remember what they call that. And just leave them in the dark like that. Oh yeah, well, here we go. That was my cell right there. Spent many hours in there. Yep. Here's my brother's cell. So that's Santa Cape County Jail. Okay. Now this fence line here, that's the border for Loha. It's the old border. Here's the old border checkpoint. And this is a functional road blocker. So there's not really much to that, so we'll go to this now. This is the Supreme Court, or the also known as the Two Hanging Dick Supreme Court. But anyway, it's the courthouse. Many people have been convicted. Elliot was convicted of being a terrorist. Here, everyone was. Operation Orange. Here's the slums. Nothing really to the slums. But this building, this is interesting. But before we get to that, we'll do some less interesting ones. Here's Smithy's Chippies. It's pretty much a take on KFC. It's actually got a drive-through that goes all the way around. It's kind of fresh, if you believe that. And 390 clearance. Yeah, that checks out. Here's the gun shop. The first gun shop was made. What was for sale? Was there specific names? Oh my god. I think you had to. Well, we'll just do the old-fashioned way. We'll destroy this. Okay. Maybe it's because I got the HUD off, but. Yeah, you'd buy things through here, and we had a system where, you know, you'd have a shopping cart here, and if you wanted to buy something, you'd put it in there, and then you'd wheel it out to them, and they'd take it, and then they'd pay you. There we go. So now we'll go back to this building. This is all, I guess this is just known as the Slum Tower. This is from victims that have been pushed off the building. It's probably the area of the most high criminal activity in Mullumbimbi history. It was the first building to have an elevator system. So if we press this, give it some time, it spawned another floor. We can go up one floor by one floor. A lot of them are empty, but some of them have got stuff in. Just random shit all the time. Like I said, random shit. It's kind of like drug lord suites is what they ended up becoming, these ones up here. And then, you know, the lab is here. And then all the money they make, they store up here, and then it's where they throw everyone off the building. So it's Slum Tower. Am I missing anything from the town? Don't believe so. I think we went into every building. No, we need to go over here. Okay. So well, I was close. I was close to missing out. We could have easily got sidetracked and forgot about this whole place. So this is the commemoration of the radio tower that was built. It wasn't even this wide, but we couldn't really remember what it looked like. Down here, is an old lab. This was a take on SCP, if I'm not mistaken. Never got finished. But now you can see the scheme of it. I mean just how big it was going to be, the scale, rather. And you know, he had multiple. If I can get down there, he had multiple floors. Many floors. I mean, look at this. Containment, red zone. So yeah, it was a take on SCP. Medium, light. Come on. I think this is the server room or something. Yeah, and then this here is, damn, I forget what this is. Yeah, the generator. So the generator room. And is it if you switch that off? You can switch it off or something, and it does something. Yeah, and I think all the lights go out. No, I think that's what he was trying to do. Yeah. Anyway. Oh no, there you go. I wasn't lying. So that's the SCP lab. So let's get up out of here. Come on. There we go. Okay, this is one of actually the newest things in the world. Is we like, oh, it's our biggest city, Sandy Cape. But there's a lot of cities, so you're like, oh, it wasn't that big, but there's a lot. That's the thing about this world, is that the scale of each individual town and city isn't that big, but the scale of the world is very big. You haven't even seen 1/8 of the world yet. So this is the residential area for Sandy Cape. Now, houses are, I think, were supposed to be in this middle zone here as well. But we pretty much all built all this in one day, which is pretty impressive, considering, you know, most things take a long time to build. This is on Bedrock, on console, so it takes a long time. So I'll get you have a look at every house. I won't go on all of them, but I'll show you all of them. Get a bit of a lag spike. Yeah, so that's the Sandy Cape residential area. Now, this is a little cafe that was built a long time ago. They sold some strange stuff. I think it's more of a drink place. I don't know what you call it, a bar, I guess. This here is the. This is to commemorate every single war that ever happened. This here kind of made this actually. I actually really like this, because it's the only thing that's ever been made for all of the wars. This is the name's here, is it? This is Lake Erie. So that's the name of that. This was like a clay place or something. This is one of the Sooners Party's projects that never really came into use. This is the border as well, like I said. So, we're nearly at Silent Hill, but we'll check this out first. These are just some graves that we made up for the law for people that died. There we go. Some people that died. Uh-oh. I think that's a piss take. But anyway, some things have lost to time in this one, I tell you what. I forgot that was there. Come on. This is taking a long time, so I'm probably going to have to cut something out. There we go, Jesus. Okay. So, there you go, you get to have a look at the city at night. Sandy Cape at night. We're nearly in Silent Hill. We'll go back to Loha after. So here's all the... This is Mount Hodgman. So I do know that. I didn't have to read that, but I was just seeing what that sign meant. This is pretty much all the inspiration. So this is Rasputin, Ivan Rasputin. Robert E. Lee. Ulysses. And Llewellyn Warwick. And if we come up here to wherever this was, yeah, here we go. There's a base. Yeah, Hodgman. At least there was, right? Ah, well, yeah, of course there was, because the old Acto base was inside here, kind of. But no, there's another one up here. Right? No? Well, guess I'm tripping. Or not. There we go, found it. There's a little Soviet bunker that was made. Lifting supplies. Cool. So this was from just before the Third Civil War. Or Tim done it later, one of the two. So Llewellyn Warwick is another, if you're listening, pretty much another Ivan Dispute. And these two here are pretty much inspirations to me and Cade in different ways. What's this here? Oh, that's very cool. Oh yeah, what is this? Some kind of really nice base. I can't remember. There's probably a button here. Maybe someone's hauled it off. I have no idea. This is strange. Yeah, I don't remember what that is. I'm not gonna ponder on this too much. Could have swore. Oh, yeah, this probably explains it. So the base was up here. It's okay. After the video, I'm gonna have to have a look out here because I don't remember anyone ever building an airport. Right. Taco. Strange room. Almost too strange. But we're not going to ponder on that either. So that's the base inside of Mount Hodgman-ish. Esque. No, it's not. It's on the other side. I'm forgetting already. What is this? This was some commemoration of something. I can't even remember. And then we were like, we'll just get rid of it. This here is... what is it? Something to look out. I'm trying to remember. No, I forget. Oh, Edgar's lookout. There we go. So that's Edgar's lookout. What's this here? Okay, well now I should talk about this. So this here is an old Acto base. Now, I'm thinking, wow, that's looks like something just blew up like right inside here. Well, you'd be correct, because you ever heard of a super cannon? Well, there was a super cannon in the Third War that right over here on this flat piece here was built. And actually, if there's a picture, which I doubt there is, but if there is, I'll show it. On a super cannon, there was a super cannon inside a cafe's roof, and it was genius. But anyway, and that was Anthony's idea, and that's his house there that he built, his farm. Yeah. So this was an old Acto base. I'll go inside here. And as you can see, we had some test subjects But obviously I haven't lived to tell the tale, unfortunately. Right, we'll go back out here. This is just a random camping spot that I put there, just to make the world feel a bit more home. This is Silent Hills. I don't know, we just put it there. So this here was put here during the, I guess, the separatist movement, when I had enough of the world. I was like, that's enough. That's true, actually. So now we're in Silent Hill officially. We've just made it out of Sandy Cape and Tortown, and now I think I'm gonna have a break. So we will continue from right here.